At exactly 8:17 a.m., my entire family stopped speaking to me. Not one of them explained why. Not my mother, not my brother, not even the man I trusted more than anyone in my life. They just went silent. And the worst part? They were all sitting at the same table, eating breakfast like nothing had happened. Like I wasn't even there. I remember putting my coffee down slowly, my hands shaking, trying to understand what I had done wrong overnight. Because the night before, everything was normal. Or at least, I thought it was. But what I didn't know at that moment was that silence wasn't an accident. It was a decision, and I was the only one who hadn't been informed. My name is Madison Carter. I'm 28 years old, and I used to believe silence meant peace. Now I know it can also mean something far worse. Erasure. I was never the loud one in the family, never the favorite, never the problem child. I was just there, useful when needed, forgotten when not. Have you ever felt like you're part of a life that doesn't fully include you? Because that's exactly how mine felt. But what I didn't realize was this. I wasn't being ignored. I was being replaced, slowly, carefully, and intentionally. If you enjoyed this story, like and subscribe to BetrayalLedger for more. It started like any normal routine. I worked as a junior coordinator in a corporate firm in Chicago. Nothing special, nothing dramatic, just emails, meetings, deadlines. But my brother, Ethan Carter, was the opposite of me. He was everything people admire instantly. Confident, charismatic, successful. The kind of man who enters a room and people naturally lean toward him. And me? I was just Ethan's sister. That was my identity before I even spoke. At family dinners, I would try to say something about my day, but it always ended the same way. Ethan just closed another deal. Ethan is handling international clients now. Ethan is really building something big. Then silence. Like my life didn't need a second sentence. At some point, I stopped trying. Not because I didn't care, but because I started believing they were right. Then came him, Caleb Morgan, Ethan's business partner. The kind of man who doesn't raise his voice, because he never needs to. He observes more than he speaks, and people trust him for that reason. At first, he didn't notice me much, or maybe he did, and I just didn't understand what that meant yet. But things started changing after he entered our lives. Subtle things, small things, dangerous things. One evening at a family dinner, I spoke about my promotion at work. Just a small achievement, nothing big. But the table went quiet for half a second. Then Caleb smiled slightly and said, "Interesting perspective, Madison. Interesting, not impressive, not valuable. Just interesting." And everyone laughed softly, including Ethan. And that laugh hurt more than I expected, because it wasn't loud. It was natural. Like I had always been the joke, and I just didn't know it yet. After that night, things changed. Not all at once. Slowly, almost politely. At work, I noticed something strange. Ideas I said in meetings would disappear, only to reappear later, spoken by someone else. And suddenly, everyone would agree, as if I had never said them. At first, I thought I was imagining it, but then it happened again, and again, until I stopped questioning it, and started questioning myself. One day I asked a colleague, "Did I send the report yesterday?" She looked confused. "No, Ethan handled that with Caleb." I froze. Ethan handled it? Without telling me? Or did I forget? That was the moment doubt entered my mind. Not loudly, quietly, like poison you don't taste until it's already inside you. Caleb started appearing more often, always at the right moment, always when things felt confusing. One evening outside the office, he stopped me. "You look tired, Madison." I nodded politely. He tilted his head slightly. "You think too emotionally." I frowned. "I think normally." He smiled faintly. "No, you react normally. That's different." Then he said something I never forgot. "Not everything that feels personal is about you." And then he walked away, leaving me standing there, questioning something I couldn't name yet. At home, Ethan changed too. One day warm, one day distant, one day supportive, one day completely unreachable. And every time I asked, he gave the same answer. "You're overthinking things, Maddie." That sentence became a wall I kept hitting until I stopped trying to cross it. The strange part? No one ever directly hurt me. No fights, no arguments, no open rejection. Just quiet shifts, friends replying less, people interrupting more, my presence slowly becoming optional in conversations. Like I was still there, but no longer required. The breaking point wasn't loud. It was a file on my work system, named AMC Behavior Summary, Internal Use. I didn't open it immediately, because part of me already knew I shouldn't, but I did anyway. And inside was my life, documented, analyzed, categorized, my reactions, my emotions, my stability level, and at the bottom, a line that made my blood turn cold. Subject is approaching awareness threshold. My hands froze. Threshold of what? Awareness of what? And why did it feel like they were waiting for me to notice? That night, I stopped sleeping properly, because now every memory felt unstable. Did that meeting really happen? Did I really say that? Did I imagine it? Or was it edited? I started checking everything twice, even my own thoughts. And that's when I realized something terrifying. If people can agree on a version of you, you don't need to exist outside it. I met Nina, my coworker, hoping for clarity, but she avoided eye contact and said softly, "You've just been stressed lately. Ethan said so too." Again, Ethan, always Ethan, explaining my life before I could. And I whispered, "Why does everyone talk like he manages me?" She didn't answer directly, just said, "You should trust him. He's been helping coordinate things." Coordinate. That word stayed in my head, because people don't coordinate a person unless they believe that person is part of a system. That night, I made a decision. If my reality could be rewritten privately, then the truth needed to be public, not whispered, not hidden, not questioned, exposed. Because systems don't survive truth, they survive silence. And I was done being silent. And the last message I received before the gala was from Caleb. It said only this: "You're earlier than expected." And in that moment, I finally understood something horrifying. I was never stepping into the truth. I was stepping into the moment they had been preparing for all along. And as I walked into that room, I realized something I'll never forget. Sometimes the most dangerous lies are the ones everyone agrees are true.